Hi everyone, my name is Michel and I'm going to talk about some topics like the most important events in the last decades, the relationship between these events and the digital era, etc. So I hope you will enjoy it and let's start. Important events on the last decades. In 1990, the reunification of Germany, and at the same year, the Human Genome Project. Well, the first two pictures show the despair of the Germans to be together again, and the next pic is, as it says, about the Human Genome Project. In 1991, the Gulf War. At the same year, the launch of the first digital camera, and in 1996, the cloning of the ship Dolly. Well, the first two images show some of the disasters caused by the Gulf War. The next pic is obviously Dolly the ship, and the other shows an image of the first digital camera. As we all know, the September 11 attacks in 2001 and in 2003 the invasion of Iraq. Okay, the first pic shows how the Twin Towers burned, and the next two pics are about the invasion of Iraq. Okay, these are two events that probably will know. In 2004, the launch of Facebook, and in 2007, the launch of the first iPhone. In the first image appears the creator of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and in the other appears the creator of the iPhone, a man that recently died, Steve Jobs. Now, I will show you four concepts that are important to understand if you want to understand the next slides. The first two concepts are globalization and terrorism. And the last two are unipolar world and digital era. Okay, these are some questions that I personally want to show you. The first says, why did deglobalization emerge? Globalization emerged as a market need with the aim of get greater economic relationship between some places and others. Certainly, the increases of telecommunications and technologies have facilitated the emergence of economic globalization and also have helped it in its evolutionary process. In most cases, what caused the terrorist attacks of 20th century? One of the main reasons was to show political power. Governments wanted to show to other nations that they are a powerful country and that they are able to do anything to receive respect from others. Another reason was to conquer territories while expanding the country, and in other cases were simply acts of revenge by some event happened before. How does the end of the Cold War with the unipolar world? In my opinion, the Cold War was the event that marked the beginning of the unipolar world. As we all know, the Soviet Union and the United States were in a serious battle. This war made the two nations spend huge amounts of money, and as the US had to financially support several of his allies, there came a time when it finished with no money reserves, besides the fact that many proposals against the government were made. All of this caused the fall of the Berlin Wall and eventually the dissolution of the Soviet Union. And that was when the United States took advantage of, increasing economic, socially, and politically, and finally became in the only dominant nation on the planet. And the last question, how has the digital era influenced today's societies? I think the digital era facilitates us practically everything. It gives us faster and effectively information. It helps us to communicate anywhere with anyone. It makes us creative and thinkers, etc. But despite all that I mentioned, I believe that the principal benefit to live in a digital era is to get a better education because it's true that currently there are thousands of workplaces, but How can I get them if I have no education? The digital era brings us the technology. So, what can we do? It's simple. Use it and seize it. To finish my presentation,